I'm Paul Perkins with the check of your ag weather. After highs in the mid to upper 80s for most of Nebraska today and the low to mid 90s over southwest Nebraska and northern Kansas, thunderstorm development remains possible in two areas near a cold front from eastern Nebraska to eastern Kansas and across the western high plains, where thunderstorms are expected to develop and track to the east tonight. Severe storms are possible through midnight. Areas along and south of I-80 are in a slight risk, a level 2 of 5, with a risk of wind gust over 60, ping-pong ball-sized hail, and isolated tornadoes. Over the weekend, northerly winds usher in lower humidity and highs in the upper 70s to the mid-80s. A few thunderstorms may occur tomorrow night through Sunday night, but mainly over northern Kansas. Monday, our hottest day of the next week, as a warm front boosts our highs into the 90s to the low 100s. Thunderstorms are possible, some of them severe, late Monday through Independence Day, with low pressure and a cold front. Daytime highs drop back into the upper 80s to the mid-90s for Tuesday on into Independence Day. Checking our long-term forecast, Nebraska and Kansas temperatures Wednesday through July 11th are likely to be mostly warmer than normal. It stays somewhat active with slightly above normal rainfall projected for Nebraska and Kansas Wednesday through July 11th. Key weather factors influencing the markets include more heavy rain in the northwest Corn Belt, rain that's needed for the rest of the Corn Belt, southern U.S. heat, and poor conditions for northwest Europe and the Black Sea region. The next 5 days, a pair of cold fronts track across the U.S. The initial front crossing the Midwest and largely clears the Atlantic coast late in the weekend. Thunderstorms may linger into next week across the lower southeast. Early next week, the trailing cold front may deliver another round of heavy rain, albeit short-lived, across the upper Midwest. 5-day rainfall could reach 1 to 3 inches, possibly more from the upper Midwest into the Northeast and along the southern Atlantic coast. Little or no rain should fall the next 5 days in several areas, including much of Texas. Building heat may become a significant concern next week from California to the southern plains. Northern areas of the central and southern plains are in line for better rainfall for developing corn and soybeans next week, while areas farther south stay mostly dry. In southeast Europe, rain continues for Italy today, increase in the soil moisture for drought areas. More rain moves through Europe this weekend and next week, some of it heavy, which keeps it too wet in many of the northwest areas. Most of Europe, though, should see lighter rainfall. Towards the Black Sea region, limited rain this week was not helpful for large rainfall deficits. Next week is drier in the Black Sea region, but far western areas could see some rain. Heat increases the next few days in the Black Sea region, getting into western Russia next week, adding to the stress of developing corn and sunflowers. With a check of your ag weather, I'm Paul Perkins.